Hey everybody. So since we are going to be spending a lot more time in Canvas for the next who knows how long, I figured I'd quickly record a video showing you how to set up your Canvas courses so that they can automatically link to Aspire, and so your grades can transfer back and forth automatically. So here's a step-by-step set of instructions for how this works. First step is to build out your Canvas course. So if we go, let's say, we'll just use my game development fundamentals class, right? Make sure your class is built out and you have assignments in your assignments tab um, so that you know what you're actually assigning and what sections you need. So the way this works, this process works off of assignment groups in Aspire. And so you need to make sure you know what assignments go in which groups and what groups you actually need. But I have mine set up so I have 3 groups for term 4. I have discussions, assignments, and power standards. So those are my 3 groups, and I have assignments in those groups. So that's step 1. Step 2 is to define your subject template in Aspire with the subject groups that you've already created in Canvas. So when we go to Aspire, I'm sure you've seen this page before where it says, you know, you have to develop your classroom inside of Aspire. Now, you want to set up your subject categories, your subject definition, your subject title needs to have the subject categories in it that match what you want your assignment groups to be called in Canvas. So I have assignments, discussions, and power standards. I have their weights set up here. So that's all set up and ready to go. Next step is to define your class in Aspire. So my class is defined in Aspire with that subject group orientation, right? The reason why we want to set this up and make sure this works is because the next step in Canvas is we're going to import these assignment groups. So these groups right here are going to import into my Canvas page. Hopefully, let's hope this actually works. It's a very wonky process, and sometimes it doesn't work right away. Sometimes it takes a day or two for the assignment groups to import. But if you follow these steps, it should work, hopefully. If you have too many issues with it, just let me know. I can try to coach you through it, but we're at the mercy of the computer gods at this point. So once this is set up, the next step is to import your assignment groups into Canvas. So I'm going to go back over to Canvas. Now I'm in the Assignments tab right here, right? Now I have these groups that I built, but these are not going to sync with Aspire, right? These aren't going to automatically build my assignments and sync with Aspire because I created these on my own. What we need to do is come over here to the top and click on the 3 buttons or the 3 dots that opens up my extra menu. And I want to click Import Assignment Groups. And when I do that, it's going to take a second. All right, so it's going to say click the Add button below to import the assignment groups from your SIS account. Existing assignments and groups will remain. Okay, so I'm going to click Add. And it says success. We have received your request to import. Now notice nothing has happened yet. It actually hasn't imported anything yet, right? If I go to monitoring and reporting, I can see that once it pops up, I can see here that I've submitted a request on this date and time to import assignment groups. I can see that the status is that it's doing something. It's doing something. Message success details none. Let me refresh the page until I get a check mark. Hey, look, now it says success. Now, theoretically, again, cross fingers, all of the fingers you have, cross them all. If I go into assignment groups, I should see new assignment groups created based off of those assignment groups I put into Aspire. Let's find out. And, oh, hey, look, they're there. Okay, perfect. So, And it looks like they brought in term 3 and term 4. That's fine. So these are the new assignment groups that will sync with Aspire. So you see term 4, and then there's this little paper icon with the arrow, right? So any assignments that I drop into this group, right, just by dragging and moving them in, I'm not going to do them now yet, but any assignments I drag into that group are now going to sync with Aspire and automatically update grades and all of that stuff on pretty much a daily basis. Now, one thing to make sure of is this little check mark with a, I don't know, recycle sign around it. This is your sync to Aspire link. If you don't have that button checked, then that assignment is specifically will not sync to Aspire. So the other thing you wanted to pay attention to is if you are a junior high teacher, or if you teach a class where you see your kids every day, not just every A day, but you see them A day and B day, your assignments may double up. So in order to avoid that, you go into the assignment itself, and instead of assigning it to everyone, you assign it to only that specific section of kids that you want to see that assignment. Does that make sense? Anyway, if you have questions about that specific issue, there are other teachers that have dealt with that, the doubling up of assignments. And so I know Mr. Larson has dealt with it. Ms. McCutcheon has dealt with it. So email them if you have questions about that. Sorry for volunteering, you guys. But so right now, as I can see from my screen, this is basically done. Now all I have to do is just import my assignments into these groups just by dragging them in. I'm not going to because I don't actually use the Aspire link. I know some teachers like it. I don't. I mean, I just like to have more control over my gradebook. But if you want to set this up, this is an easy way for you to transfer your assignments straight over to Aspire. Anywho, that's pretty much it. So, oh, also one thing with these new groups, they don't automatically bring in the percentage of your grade. They don't bring in the percentage. So in Canvas, you might want to go in and change this to like, so this is my Power Standards term 4. So it would be 70% of the total grade. So I would go in there and change 70%. Anyway, so hopefully that was complicated, but not complicated. Hopefully it was easy enough for you guys to do. It's a kind of a wonky process. I'm actually surprised that it worked for me while I was making the video. Usually things don't work out when you're trying to make a video about them. So if it works for you, great. If you run into too many issues with it, you don't want to bother with it, that's fine. You don't, look, I have 2 different grade books. Like I said, I have my Canvas grade book and my Aspire grade book. And I just go in and I just have my dual monitors. And I just go through and make sure everything is updated. But again, this might save you some time. So if you want to use it, please do. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. And I will be more than happy to help you out. Again, it should be a pretty simple process, and most of the stuff you should have already done. It's the big thing is importing your assignment groups into Canvas. That's the one step that maybe some of you are forgetting. So anyway, thanks for paying attention. I'm rambling at this point, which means the video should be over. So I'm going to call it quits, and I'll see you guys later. And again, email me if you have any questions. All right, thanks.